she is.
Ryan
Ooh, my
Kimbrough,
bagel in here.
Chi-Town.
BK in the house. Good
What's
morning.
up?
Welcome,
Leo, you
Big
want
BK.
egg
time.
bagel?
Edwin
You want
Douglas
egg
from
bagel?
Chi-Town.
Yeah, bagel. Put cream cheese on mine.
Sorry
Would
about
you
that.
come in, guys? Do me a favor. Announce your name and where you're calling from. And please
Seamus,
leave
Carmel,
the
New
call. You
York.
got
New
20
Jersey bagels are the
seconds.
best.
Yeah, they are.
Edwin
Lori
Douglas,
Bozong, Muncie,
Chi-Town.
PA.
Welcome to the call, everyone. Welcome to the call. We appreciate you
Teniente.
guys coming on this morning. We're going to go ahead and jumpstart this call this morning. We're going to mute all the lines and we're going to go ahead and get
Gabe Switchell,
started.
Chicago.
Welcome. All right. Did I mute myself? Okay.
No, you're
I did
good.
not.
You're good.
Okay. Grand day, Big John. How are you this grand day?
I'm fired up. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm fired up. I'm fired up with excitement. I'm fired up looking towards the holidays. Um, yeah, I'm at a loss for words, Lynette, which doesn't usually happen to me. But yeah, my wife was packing all day yesterday. I'm getting ready to go to the post office, send out presents to the family, and but I'm excited about what we have our hands on
Yes.
with Think Energy. Right? To me, I said, what is the definition of what we're involved with? And I thought about the holidays, how we celebrate and share presents and gifts with people, and I equated that to what we're actually involved with today, because we certainly have a gift. Every one of us on this Zoom has a gift, and they know they have a gift in their hands right now. And the question is, what are we all going to do with that gift? Are we going to capitalize on it? Or are we going to sort of slow play it and hesitate and procrastinate? I choose. I choose to run with it. I choose to find leaders that want to run with me, like yourself, Lynette, and so many others. But yeah, we're in a special place and time that can bring rewards to people. And I'm not talking about working this thing for 10 years or even 5 years. I'm talking about putting your focus on something right now. Michael Falquist is the genius behind this. Nobody can replicate what he's doing in the entire industry. What totally separates us from every other competitor out there. And like Kirk Coran said last night so eloquently, he said, I'm not in the energy business. We're not in the energy business. Michael Falquist, the genius behind what we're doing, giving us the tools to perform, right? We're in the people business. We're in the networking business, not the not working business, right? And yeah, I'm as you can tell, I'm over the top with excitement. I think 2026, for those who choose to put their focus, for those who choose to make their sacrifices, are going to live the life of their dreams, because this comes one time where we're at now, and it ain't going to come again, right? It's coming one time. How do you
Yes.
want to set yourself up? So, Lynette, how do you want to set yourself up?
Oh, Big John, we got to get out here to the masses and the people that have the most influence, and so they can move the masses as well. So I'm looking at this from a very high level, looking to bring in people that can really see it, because there is only one start of Microsoft. There was only one start of Amazon. There was only one start of Apple. And there's only going to be one start of Think. So that's it. We're at the beginning. This is the start. So I'm excited about everything that this opportunity has to offer. It just lays it all out. I'm so excited to find out what's going on. I looked at my points last night for the summit and I was like, oh no, we got to get this done. So I'm looking at the points for the summit. I got to be in the room. I want to hear what they have to say. And that's what it's really all about, right? getting to the next level of all of these rooms. So yes, when I explain what a virtual power plant is, people are like, oh, I heard of this thing before. I heard of electricity. You've never heard of this. You have never, I just heard about it and it's brand new. It's never been done. So don't tell me you heard of this, right? And so that's where, the rubber meets the road. You're either going to sit and listen, but the question is, are you willing to listen? And when they give open their mindset, you can really paint a real beautiful picture. The Mona Lisa.
Yeah, and
Paint the picture.
you're so right. And I'll tell you who has a great perspective on this. See, Julius is like a mad scientist, right?
Right.
Julius has that high level intelligence of an engineer, which he is, and but Julius sees this as clearly as anything, and I want to let him speak to that point of where we're at in time with this opportunity. Listen, we have a major problem in this country. We have a lack of generation. You can't just snap your fingers and open up a generation plant. Like Kirk said, that could take 10 years, right? So, what is the solution? Julius, what is the solution to the problem this country faces today?
John, we had Friday I had a call with a bunch of electricians and contractors out of Texas Friday. And one of the things is that, and I'm just going to give this to everybody, I'm giving this to everybody right now, is that, see, when you talk to an electrician or you talk to somebody who's in the industry, right, a solar install company, right, and you talk to them about the usage and about the fact that artificial intelligence is happening if we want it to or not, the fact that we don't have enough generation, what I ask is a simple question, simple question. I said, well, you're an electrician, energy and electricity, costs are high at different times of day. And everybody said, yeah, Julius, I get that. I said, so if I could store cheap energy and use it at expensive times of day, does that make sense to you? Everybody, every solar electricity, yeah, that makes total sense. Now, for my solar guys, I said, you guys try to sell a battery product, right? You guys have battery products, right? They're like, yeah, we try to sell with the solar package, the battery product. I said, okay. And why do you try to sell it? Well, we want them to be isolated. We want them to be able to store the solar energy. I said, okay, well, what if instead of solar energy, because you're selling a rooftop product plus a battery, which most people don't get by because it's $20,000. What if I just gave them the battery, stored the cheap energy, and then any excess energy they had, I could sell back to the grid? What does that do for your business? What if every person you go to now, you're not trying to convince them to put solar panels on, seeing if the sun hits the house at the right time? I said, what if I could store that cheap energy and use it at an expensive time? I said, those are the partners I'm looking for. Do you think your business could handle an additional revenue stream? And I paused. I shut up. I'm like, do you think that you guys had, we got about 30,000 sales reps around the country, and we're just looking for some installers to work with us. That makes it. Does that make sense for you and your business? And so when I talk to businesses and what I say to them, I said, right now, when you guys do an install on solar or electricians do a job, do you guys make residual on that? Do you guys get paid after you do the job? Everybody says no. I said, well, why? Don't you think you should? And they're confused on the Zoom. They're looking like, what is this guy talking about? I said, well, guys, I want to introduce you to a technology called virtual power plants. Look at this video. And I pull up the virtual power plant video. And when I tell you there is nobody that will tell you no if you understand how to communicate what we have, nobody's going to tell you no. The video is so good that people who have been in the electricity industry are pausing. I had a guy, David is on here. You guys know David Feinberg. David put me on a call with a guy who would not answer his call. Solar guy in Texas. I said, David, we're not chasing people, but send him this message. Say, look, what I want you to do is send this message to him. Say, hey, look, I was just calling you because I know you have a solar business, solar install business. And my company's looking for partners that want to do installs because we're going to be offering a free battery to homes in Texas. And we thought that you could use an additional revenue stream. And I said, that's it, David. Don't send them anything else. Guy wouldn't talk to him, wouldn't return his call. You know, the guy was like, oh, I could talk tomorrow. Why? Because guess what? We're changing how business is done. For all of you who are talking to customers, anybody in Texas, everybody wants a free battery. Everybody wants a free battery in their home. But I know I'm talking about the battery program, but here's how it links to everything else, and I'll be quiet. Here's what everybody doesn't understand. Everything we're doing links together. See, think smart. And the thermostat is just a way for us as a company to now be able to show that we are an energy tech company. And so now we're using the data from the thermostat to help fuel the battery. Nobody knows what Michael Falquist has in the future, but I'm telling you, he is very strategic in what he's doing. Community solar autosave. Autosave is just incredible. And the call yesterday we had, Big John, thank you for that. That was huge. But if you understand the pieces of what you have and know how to speak to it, and I want to be really clear, if you speak to this with confidence, you will have a business where people will not tell you no. They're going to say no to themselves before they say no to you. But I want you to understand it is very important that you speak with confidence and you believe in what you have. I think that's what it comes down to. Yes, and I love it, Jack. No, I cannot sleep anymore either. There is no way to sleep when you understand what this is. And honestly, I don't even know. People say, where should I start? I say, you start with one thing. Your first 30 days, major in customers. You say, what do you mean, Julie? I said, well, went to college, right? And you had a major, right? So the first 30 days, you major in customer, you minor in energy advisors. People say, what do you, well, 535 says I got to get 5 customers, right? I said, well, you're a major your first 30 days. You're a major. You are a PhD in customer. That's what's important, right? Because you learn this muscle, right? And then you're going to be talking to people, but here's what you're going to find when you expose the business the right way. Some people are going to say, hey, look, man, I want to be my own customer. And then when you start showing them what we have, it's explosive, John. Like John, it's from a business standpoint, from a technology standpoint. I don't want to get too geeked out with this thing, but if somebody says no, it doesn't bother me because right now the no's are things that you don't have the luxury to entertain. And if people got that and they talked about their business with confidence, you guys will be fine. Like everybody's gonna be all right. Everybody's gonna be running, and I'm seeing the promotions. I'm seeing all the people promoting. Man, it's incredible. Now, listen, I do have a confession to make. I've been working with my team, and y'all been doing great. My team is doing great. And then some of y'all calling me, texting me, I got 179 or 200 summit points. And I'm like, let me look at how these summit points are done. I'm like, all of y'all about to go on the summit. And I said, so Uncle Julius got to go get his rest of his summit points because I can't have my whole team going because y'all blowing it up. And I'm working with y'all launches, but I can't mess with y'all. I got to go get me 100 customers real quick.
So hey, Julius, speaking about that, brother, why don't we bring on the leading? He bypassed me. I'm in second place with leadership points. So yeah, Kirk Coran, the guy we all love.
Let's say all the points. He double hit it.
Yeah, no, he double hit it.
Can I borrow some points, Kirk?
Where is Kirk at? He got his hoodie on?
I'm here.
Here he is.
I'm here. Good morning, all. Listen, I'll talk about the points real quick because Lynette started off with it. I love that, how she's thinking, but don't mind my son's crazy cat behind me. It's a Sphinx. But the key to getting on this leadership trip, what they've been promoting from the very beginning is not just go out. Listen, we can go out and recruit hundreds of people, right? It's only $59. I hate that, but I love it, right? Because it's affordable to everyone. But a lot of people throw money down and they don't treat it like a real business. If you just get focused on, as Julius was just saying, bring every single person you bring in, get them doing 535. They're going to double up on that real exciting promotion we have where they're matching, the sponsors getting matching bonuses. That's amazing. That's never been done before. People should be taking advantage of that. As Milton said last night, and I've been saying all along, we've already December 1st, we started the new year. If you want to wait to January, you're already way behind because, the points are rolling here, and to get to those numbers with the 5,000 and the Back to the Future, you've got to have movement. You've got to have people growing. Remember, that's a balanced organization as well. That's the 40% rule applies to Back to the Future as much as it applies to you getting through the ranks. John, you know what I love what's happening right now is, and it's interesting, now that we have something tangible, right? Electricity is not tangible. People can't get excited about something they don't see as much as, I mean, what we see with electricity is low bills, low saving them money. But when you have something to talk about like a battery, people have this whole nother level of confidence, right? They can show somebody something that eventually they'll be able to look at and maybe touch or watch it being installed. And now it's become something real to them. It's interesting. It's like a psychological project. You know what I mean? Everybody is excited now because we have this battery. The battery is definitely one thing, but guess what? Every single person on here should be going wild with autosave. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
we've been on calls with Michael and other top leaders, and the bottom line is nobody's getting a battery. Nobody is getting a battery if they're
Hey,
not a Think Energy customer.
hey, Kirk, I
You
got to
know,
ask you a question. Is that cat sitting on your head, man?
he is not sitting on my head, but he's crazy looking, isn't he?
Yeah.
Look at him. No fur. Yeah, anyways, there you've got to get going with autosave. They ran this 5% per month savings promotion. Keywords promotion. Michael's trying things to see what's going to work for the field. And if you really like the fact that you can go talk to somebody and say, look, we guarantee you 5% below the utility right now during these times where everybody else is going through the roof, we guarantee 5% below the utility. If you're sleeping on that, you're messing up. Every single person on here should be going crazy with this because we want to keep that, right? Don't you want to be able to say, yes, we guarantee you 5%? That is a
Minimum of 5%.
That's
Minimum.
right. There's no cap on it. That's right. Oh, and by the way, we have this today is the day that tonight they're having the big call for director and above. I don't know if they're going to do a corporate call, but tonight we have a director and above call. They're going to talk to us about the thermostat program. So you definitely want to be paying attention to that because number one, Lynette was talking about the leadership trip, right? You get points for everything you do. And then you get a growth point with the Back to the Future towards your 5,000. So think about this. It's 2,500 customers, right? Your team puts in 1,500 electricity customers on autosave, and then 1,000 of them add a thermostat. You're getting $50,000
That's
in
crazy.
July. Can anybody
That's
use an
crazy.
extra 50K? These are simple numbers and then also community solar is another growth point. Again, there's rules, read the rules. I don't want to confuse anybody. I believe you can only get 2 growth points from one home, but confirm that. Don't just listen to me. I'm not always sharp on all the rules of the promotion. All right. So don't take all of that and go out and start complaining that you put in 3 growth points, you only got two.
Hey,
But the
Kirk,
bottom line, guys, go ahead, John. Yeah.
yeah, Mike Karcheski does a great Zoom, him and Andy, every Sunday night. We had a packed house on there last night. And what he brought up was very, I would say, interesting at the minimum. He talked about people that have worked hard their whole lives, right? Trying to keep up with this inflation. And he talked the numbers game about what you would need to do to get $4,000 a month in reoccurring money coming back to you. And he said that would take $1 million in your 401k, right? But think about it. People that go to work here, if somebody can build a $4,000 a month residual in less than 12 months, right? And I ask everybody on this Zoom, what would that mean to you? Just the start of that. Because what I want to tell you is, folks, what we have now with the smart thermostat and the technology that Michael has for us, for all of us, we're just at the start, folks. We're just in the first inning of a doubleheader. This thing's going to get real juicy, real fast. But I really urge everyone, you got to go to work. I mean, this is not going to fall in your lap. Kirk,
John, yeah. What I would say to that, like I see all the faces on here and I see all the names on here. You know what? I've been talking about this in different calls and stuff. I look back at the leaders, the energy. When I'm talking about the energy space. Many of the top leaders in this industry came from the telecommunications space where they were mid-level people, all right? Not degrading them in any way. They were getting their, sharpening the saw. They were back there getting their toes wet in network marketing. They were in the telecom space. They were mid-level people. And when the opportunity came for them to be in day one, they put their head down and they went to work, knowing that it's not going to be perfect. When you're in the middle of a startup, there's going to be bumps and bruises. We have to protect this company, number one. We have to protect the golden egg. We have to do things right. But every single person on here right now, this is your day one. Julius talks about it, and I love when he talks about it. This is our day one for all of us. And there's nobody on here that has an advantage over any other person. It's just a matter of your belief, your commitment, and your passion to get this in front of as many people as you can, as fast as you can. There's urgency. I call it urgent patience. You need to get it in front of people, plant your seed, and they're going to make a decision on their timeline, not yours. If you're pushing them into this, you're going to have to push them all the way, and that's a job I didn't sign up for. This is too big to be having to plead with people to do what they need to do. I reach back to people. I mentioned to them that things are changing. Stay plugged in. That there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not begging people to move forward. That's on them. So yeah, I mean, John, we're in day one here. We're in day one. We have a rocket ship that we're on, and all we need to do is take advantage of it. So I know I see people working harder than they've ever worked, and just that tangible product, whether it's a battery or a thermostat, has changed the game for so many people, and I love that. But don't lose focus. Nobody gets any of that stuff without being a Think Energy customer. It's
Kirk,
all about the customers.
Kirk, I want to kick something back to Lynette Roberts. I think it was Friday. I must have taken, I was getting text. Hey, John, can you take a three-way call for me in 15 minutes? And I was running around doing errands and I was writing down, all right, I got a call at 11:15. I got a call at 11:45. And see, that's music to my ears as a leader. I have some people
Yeah.
on my team that I love. They're bringing people on, but they're really not following the model. And I want to, Lynette's somebody that follows the model. I tell people, if you overlook the basics in this business, right? All we're supposed to do, not explain the business. Oh, I got a VPP. We got auto save. No, 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 no. Ask people, are you open minded to taking a look at an extremely lucrative opportunity? When they ask you to explain it, tell them you can't. When do you have 10 minutes time? I want to show you a 9-minute video that will explain everything. If people fall back and just do that, let the tools, let your team do the heavy lifting for you. But I'll tell you what, I bet you 90% of the people in this company overlook it. But you know who calls on me for three-way calls? Kirk Coran. He can answer every question to every person, but he knows that will never duplicate. Lynette, how do you do it, Lynette?
The exact same way you explained it, Big John. There is no getting around it. I don't understand. It has to be the easiest thing. And Milton says it all the time. It's a layup, right?
Yep.
So you're just piquing the individual's interest. Why go past that? Your position is to pique interest. And if you can pique someone's interest by just saying, you keep your business options open. Have you heard of a virtual power plant? Did you know that there's a law that we have where you can get 10, 5, 10, 15, 20% discounts on your electric bill for 20 years? You're just piquing interest. I pique interest. I bring them to a live call or I show a video, and I always do a three-way call. I don't care who it is. And if I can't reach Milton, I can't reach Jazz, or if I can't reach Kirk, or then I'm on your line. But I'm going up the chains. I'm looking for people. Julius, if you're busy, if he's busy, I'm like, hey, are you busy? Can you get on the call? And sometimes, everybody is busy, but I got to be honest with you. I still won't close. I'll let them know, you know what? I'm glad you like what you heard. I'm super excited, but you have to speak with one of my leaders because they showed me this business and I want you to hear what they have to say. And if they say, well, I just want to get started, I don't even care if they get started. I'm going to send you the link. I don't mind you getting started. I don't have a problem with it, but you have to speak to a leader no matter what. You still need to complete your layup, right? So, and that's what it is. I would just see Hyperjack. He's in the background. I just love Hyperjack. He was just showing a book called The 4-Year Plan, The 4-Year Career. I said, absolutely. That's all we want. We don't want to retire everybody on this phone in the next 4 years. On this Zoom. There is no reason 150 people cannot literally be retired, Big John, within the next 4 years. What do you think about that?
You know what? I want to say this. There's a gentleman, my brother from another mother, Julius Weems. First day I met him, I fell in love with Julius, man. He's just a solid guy. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people working this business hard, real hard. And Julius just put it in fifth gear. Over the last couple months, he's bringing in major players, but more importantly, he's holding their hands early on. He's doing accountability calls like Mike Karczewski does, right? I say this, and Kirk says it, when he was in his previous business, he just followed the leaders and did what they did to get where they're at. I mean, I can't break it down any easier, but is it a mind shift that it takes? Absolutely. Because when I first came into business, I'm saying, oh, they don't mean me. I'm a business owner. Me and my wife own a big business. I can sell this myself. I don't have to show a video. I can explain it. I fell flat on my face, but I didn't quit. I put up a white flag. I surrendered. I surrendered to the process. And yeah, it's never going to work the way you want it all the time. But I can tell you this. Me surrendering to that process changed our lives forever. Put us in a place I could never dream about. And Julius Weems, what made you, Julius, go from third gear to fifth gear? What was it, Julius?
When they talk about, fear of loss is one thing, but I think the other piece is when you start to see something so clear that your choice is really simple. If you see something really clear, you're right. And guys, my favorite book always says, faith without works is dead. And so you ask for something great. A lot of you came here wanting to do something where financially you could create financial independence. You were tired of what you're doing. You saw the financial part of it, right? If you saw the financial part of this when you joined, your excitement, put a $sign in the chat. If you saw that, but then you know how you see it, but then you start to see that thing scale. I start to see, oh, this thing is going to be real. This is happening. and it's going to happen with or without me.
Yep.
If it happens without me, right? Because like I think Kirk just said it, a lot of us came from telecom companies, other energy companies. We came from places where we saw other people be first. Well, when I saw this, my first year, guys, I looked at it. I just looked at it. I was clapping for Kirk and John while they drove across the country. I was like, I'm just busy. I have so much going on. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say it as clear as day. The person that comes in right now, the biggest, if I had to go back and do it again, right, I'd have drove that 7,000 miles. As ugly, as rough as it looks. But now, when for you, all of you who are getting in right now, as we were on the call the other day, and somebody was asking John, like, how fast did you do it? And the reality is the person that joins today can do it faster than John, Kirk, me, everybody, because now they got 13 states, they got autosave, they have thermostats, they have all these things. But my biggest thing was, and this is just, I'm gonna be very transparent with you guys. My choice is this. Either I'm gonna build this to partner until senior partner, or I'm going to go back to what I've been doing for years, leaving my family on Sunday. I got people offering me CEO jobs to come and travel Sunday through Thursday. At some point in your life, you got to decide you're just going to get it done. Like it's no all the noise and all the hype and everything else. At the end of the day, the compensation plan is going to pay you if you are liked or you're not liked. It's going to pay you the way Michael is laid out. And partner's going to pay you every month. And my choice is just that I want a level of financial independence that allows me to do the little thing that I do all the time. I like taking my son to school every day. Yep. I like going to be a theater dad and sitting at the theater in Times Square with him. I like making breakfast in the morning. See, and I'm going to share this with you guys. I talk to a lot of people who are, oh, I'm so successful. And I ask them, I said, how many hours did you leave your family today? Oh man, I was in the office for 16 hours. Oh, okay. How is that working? How's that working for your family, for your kids? You know, your kids grow up. My son's 11 years old, guys. How many of us missed our kids? My older son didn't get to see daddy. So my why is really clear, is that going partner is bigger than me. And I think a lot of people just got to figure out what do you want bad enough? What do you want big enough? And right now, it's no excuses. And yes, right now I am not just fired up, but I'm just like, results tell stories. And my accountability group, guys, I'm proud of my team, because to get into my accountability group, the team had to register for Empower 26 and give me a list of 200 people. You can't even get into the group. You can't awesome. Even get on a call without an Empower 26 registration and a list of 200. So why wouldn't we have that? You guys go to work. And if they said you couldn't come into the office to sit at your desk until you was registered for Empower and you had a list of 200, you weren't going to get your paycheck next week. How many of you would have it done? But then we sit here and we say, oh, I don't know anybody. Oh, you don't know anybody? What if the door was locked? Hey, Kirk, what if the key fob didn't work at the office unless you had Empower 26 or a list of 200, right?
Julius, what you say is so true. And I was on a phone with a really sharp woman from Pennsylvania. I'm not going to mention no names. She's in the rooftop solar bit. And this woman is sharp, confident. And she said to me something to the effect, John, I got to put food on my table. I got to take the money walks now. And I said to her, you know what? I don't disagree with that. I really don't. And I have a friend named Jordan Adler, who I had the privilege to be on stage with, who wrote the book Beach Money. And he talks in his book and on podcasts how he, during the week, went out and gave his full effort to his job to put food on his table and gas in his car. But at night and weekends, he turned that effort into making a sacrifice to build something that now has made him $30 million. And I said to this young lady, and she's powerful. I don't even know if she's on the Zoom here this morning, but this woman is powerful. And I said, you know what? just give it an effort. Give it time. It'll compound for you. You'll start seeing it more clearly. And once you start seeing this, and I want to bring somebody up, somebody that's working this business to a T, Mandy Smith, who's all over the place. And you want to talk about somebody that's posturing with confidence and mastering the basics. Mandy Smith, can you come on with us for a second? If you're on, if you're available. I didn't even look. Is Mandy Smith on here, Kirk?
I don't usually, I don't know if she is or not.
I didn't see her yet. I've looked for
She's
her.
with her family in Alabama, so she may not be. But hey, John, I want to feed off
Yeah,
of what
she's
Julia
here.
said. All
Hold
right,
on.
She's
good.
here. Hold on. Let me ask her to unmute.
Yeah, I would have been surprised if she wasn't, be honest with you, because she shows up, as you said, John. You know what? We're
She
waiting.
works the business to a T. I did a couple calls with her, Zooms with her the other day. She's showing the
Yeah,
video to the sharpest people, and she's working it perfectly, right? Where
you know what
she
they're
could,
doing, John? They're networking. You know, her and Mikey, they're putting themselves in rooms,
yeah.
meeting high level people. Any single person on here can do what they're doing. Did you find her yet, Lynette? Is she on? I want to feed off of what Julius was saying too. Julius, there's a big thing that you left out about how people can do it faster. When Big John and I were going through the ranks, there were no points. There were no points. It was customers. You
Yeah.
know, they didn't. Matter of fact, I think we both might have made it to partner before the point system even came into play. You know, so just that alone, somebody putting in a customer worth 2 points or a community solar customer worth two, three, 4 points. You know, that didn't exist when we were going through the ranks. And the other thing that I think the switch that's been flipped for a lot of people is understanding that, you know, I hear people say there's no money here, and I laugh. I'm like, I go, well, listen, I seen people make tens of millions of dollars on less of a comp plan than what we have here, significantly less. You know what the thing is it's a business. You know, it can be your hobby if you want it to be, but it's a business. It takes time to grow. Think about a traditional business. I'm speaking from they say, whoever that is, they say that it takes a traditional business about 10 years to get a return on their investment. You get a return on your investment immediately here, but the money comes over time. I wish it was get rich quick. This is not get rich quick. If you're looking for that, you're in the wrong spot. But, you know, what do they say at the convention? Your first year, you're putting in more work than you're getting paid for, right? You're putting in more time than you're getting paid for. Your second year, all of a sudden it's kind of equal out. By your third year, you feel guilty
Yep.
about the money you're receiving because you're not putting in enough time to get paid that kind of money. And if everybody, you know, said it for years and I'll say it again today. If you want to be successful in this business, in this company, be here a year from now. And in saying that, I want you to understand the company truly started August of this year when autosave was launched. We've been building in this industry for years, and there's been a massive churn. You have 1,000 customers coming in the front door. You had 2,000 going out the back because they fell into a variable rate or they found a better price. We don't have to worry about that now. This is a set it and forget it situation for all of us. The worst they're going to pay is what the utilities charging, and there's over 80% in every market. They're back with the utility, so that's the worst they're going to pay. You can only do better. You
Kirk,
can't do worse.
Kirk, we want to be mindful of everybody's time. So let's start with you, how we always leave everybody with a nugget to start their day, to start their week. Give us your nugget, Kirk, please.
Well, my nugget is a couple things. No, the first one is that things are happening around you. If you're not plugging in to what's happening, you're missing out. you can't build your business once a week or once a month around a live meeting. But getting to the live meetings, I said it last night. I'll say it real quick again. Ed and I went up to Lancaster, PA, and it wasn't a big turnout, but it was a valuable turnout because we got to spend time with some people and really lay things out and tell them what they have their hands on. And, Ed's got a busy couple months coming up just from that Lancaster meeting. And, I encourage people to get out to these meetings. The last meeting before the holiday season, the full blown holiday season, Somerville, New Jersey. John, we had that meeting in Southern Jersey, Marlton, that we had to change the location last minute. We went to Cherry Hill. Over 80 people from all different lines in the company. And there was an energy in that room like I have not felt since I've been doing this in a live meeting. And, Somerville, New Jersey, this Wednesday, the 17th, Jim and Lisa will be there. I'm not sure if Brendan and Ed are going to be there, but, get your people to these meetings. Let them feel what we feel. You got to be around the fire to set fire. So my nugget is be present, be in the room at all times, and plug in.
Thank you, Kirk. Lynette Roberts, a nugget from you.
Yeah, I was listening to Kirk, Julius, and it's like the airplane effect. The airplane uses most of its fuel in the beginning of a takeoff. And we all have to put ourselves in that position, where we're in a position to take off. And if you're on the ground floor and you just getting started with Think Energy, it's okay right now because just prepare for your takeoff. Your takeoff is your list. That's where you start. You start with your list. And if you start with that list and you go through it, there's no way you're not going to win in this business because we're only about not even 6 degrees anymore. You're about 3 3 to 4 degrees from knowing just everyone. So with that being said, start with your list, follow your processes. That is my nugget, Big John. Show the plan. Big Linda Powell says it all the time. I just show the plan, show the plan. She has over 400 customers. She has
Keep showing the
400
plan.
customers. Keep showing the plan and just keep moving. If somebody's going to tell you no. Somebody's not going to see your vision. But guess what? That's their loss, not yours. So stick around, like Kirk said, and let's get this takeoff done. Let's get our jets ready. Let's keep it moving for this week. I know it's going into a holiday season. Let me say this first. Listen, you can have a bad day, you can have a bad hour, you can have a bad minute, but you're not going to make it a bad week, and we're not going to string it together like Mike Karcheski says all the time. We are back on the horse. If you went holiday shopping this weekend, great. Let's get back out here. Let's start showing the plan again. Let's make the effort. Let's set some time aside for ourselves to keep that going and keep it moving. And I am speaking to Lynette too. I'm not just talking to you guys.
Thank you, Lynette. We appreciate you. You're a shining light for everybody in this company, and we really appreciate you, Lynette.
Thank you.
Brother Weems, how about a nugget?
Hey guys. I want to share this with you. I'm going to be talking about it on my accountability call. And I just thought it'd be valuable for all of you. It's the end of the year and you guys are setting goals. And the reason I want you to understand I'm not a big believer in goals from the standpoint of people set goals and the reason they don't do them is because the goal gives you anxiety, right? You set a goal of 500 customers and you start to then process the anxiety. And why you get anxiety is because most of us have a story that we're telling ourselves that what happens if I don't do that, or that's going to be too hard. And you're telling yourself this story. What I want to challenge you is if you really process this is going to change your life. I promise you. It's about that story, right? So I want you to change this. The reason you get anxiety from a goal is because the story you tell yourself, what if I don't do it? But when you shift the story, right? And you sit, and I used to, right now in my mind, I see on a presentation, that we have a total of roughly, 40 million potential customers in retail energy. We got 13 million in auto save. And so my thing is that, oh, the company's only telling me I need what? I need like 50,000 of 13 million to get to senior partner. And so when I set that goal or that target, here's the question. Here's a question, guys, that is blowing my mind. That I'm telling myself, here's my story. My story is, Julius, what will it feel like when you hit that 50,000 customers? And you're getting every month, you're getting a percentage of what's happening in this company. Every month, Julius, what you're doing is that you're going to be making X amount every month, Julius. What is it going to feel like? And I put myself there. What is it going to feel like, guys, when you guys hit partner? What is it going to feel like when you're going on every vacation the company has? And I feel that you have to change the story that the goal is associated with. Because the anxiety and the hesitation comes when the story is always negative. And if you change the story, how you start and do everything changes. The story for me is, it may seem so simple, guys, but I love being able to sit at home, right? I'm downstairs. I'm here in New Jersey. I'm at my apartment. My son just walked out with his mom to go to school. I love knowing that I'm going to be able to pick him up. We can go on vacations. He's going to finish Broadway. We're going to go see Uncle John. That freedom is the story that gets me excited. So you have to tell yourself a different story, guys. You got to tell yourself a different story. What is it going to feel like when you win? Back to you, Big John.
Julius, I appreciate you, brother, and I can't wait for the little guy to come down and play a round of golf.
We can't wait
either. So here's my thing, and I appreciate we went a little bit over today. I appreciate everybody hanging on with us. It speaks volume about who you are and what you really want. So I just started my phase 2 in my business, in my mind, right? And my phase 2 is going to be recruiting again, like I did the first month I came into business. So my question to each and every one of you, what makes you tick? What motivates, what pushes you to get uncomfortable, right? My suggestion to you is that do the same thing that I'm doing with Julius, Kirk, Lynette, every leader that's moving up the ranks. Be numb to the outcome. Don't take anything personal. Your only goal is how many people can you show that 9-minute video to? That's your only goal. I don't care if they come in, I don't care if they say yes or they say no. My only objective is to show that video to as many people as humanly possible. Now, I truly believe what we have, the sharper people are going to see it. So go get told by 20 super sharp people, and I guarantee you 10 are going to lock arms with you, right? What if this company paid you and all of us every time you showed a video and do a 3-way call? What if this company would pay you $100? I guarantee everybody on this Zoom would show that video a minimum of 30 times a week. 30 times a week, that's $3,000. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I tricked my mind, I tricked myself because I got to push myself. We all have to push ourselves to get uncomfortable, right? Times you don't feel like doing nothing, you're laying around, you want to get moving, you got to trick the 6 inches between your ears. Mine's about 8 inches. I got a big head, right? But that's the ticket right there. Be numb to the outcome. Set your GPS by your list that you should have written. If you don't have a list, you're not in the business. That's plain and simple. But you know what? Just tell yourself every time you show that video, you're getting a $100 bill. And watch how many times you show the video. But I'm here to tell you, it's going to be a lot more than $100. It's going to be way more. You find somebody like Julius, Lynette, Mandy Smith, Mikey, Mike Karczewski, Andy Wallace, right? Linda Palpau, so many people that just want this, that are hungry for this. it's going to pay you a lot more than $100. So Julius, let's wrap it up. Everybody, directors and aboves, we have a call tonight. New information coming out that we can feed to our teams. And if you're not ready for the leadership retreat, do whatever it takes to get there. No excuses here. Julius, some music, brother.
Julius, where's my phone?
I know you was looking for it too.
Why? What my music?
Wait, no music, Julius? Are you kidding me, Mr. AI?
Show up.
Yeah, show
Be in the
up.
room of champions. In the room of champions. Think energy. Empower 2025 in the room of champions. In the room of champions. Show up. Empower 2025. Yo, this ain't just a vibe, it's a movement. Woo. Bring your energy and watch us prove it. Woo. We the champions, the undisputed. The only place you find us is where the room is. Never question it, man. We the best at this. It's that energy that you'll remember if you ever slept on it. It's that energy that keep us all connected. Think energy. Empower 2025. Let's get it. Woo. If you're in it for the win, hands up. Let's get it. If you're in it for the win, hands up. Let's get it. If you're in it for the win, hands up. If you're in it for the win, hands up. Let's get it. If you're in it for the win, hands up. Get power.
Have a great week, guys.
20, show up. Be in the room of champions. In the room of champions. Think energy. Empower 2025. In the room of champions. Show up.
Jonathan. I see you out there, Jonathan.
Show up! Wake up, rise and shine. Julia's got the grind. John's got the time. Milton's on the climb. Kirk's got that fire. Burning with desire. Set the bar higher. No one getting tired. Mojo back in style. Walk that Monday mile. Step into your power. This is our hour. Feel the beat in your heart. Got that fresh new start. Every day a new part. Living it like art. Shake off all the blues, no more time to lose. Lace up those shoes, gonna light the fuse. Mojo back in style.